Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hanging Out for a Living. I'm thrilled to introduce you to a man whose brilliance transcends the boundaries of the real estate world, making an indelible mark with his unique approach to coaching. Jim McCord, the best-selling author and of the transformative book, A Revolution in Real Estate Sales, is a luminary who has masterfully co-authored an ultra running book as well, entitled Across America on Foot. Jim is not just a prominent speaker, he's also an invaluable asset at EXP Realty, playing a key role in the referral division. He's a passionate coach of, oh, I lost my place. Sorry about that. He's a passionate coach teaching a system and action plan that breaks the mold of traditional real estate training. He doesn't just coach real estate, he lives and breathes it, sparking an evolution in the industry, one realtor at a time. Welcome, Jim. How are you?
Thanks, Teresa. I can definitely say that's the best introduction I've ever heard about me. I don't know how much of it's true, but you worked on that, and that is excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So let's dive in. I know our viewers are excited to get into this, and you bring so much to the table. So we'll respect your time and just launch, 3 or 4 questions at you, and we'll wrap it up, and they can keep the conversation going with you. But so let's start with your book, A Revolution in Real Estate Sales. It's actually been a game changer. I read it. I actually have a signed copy of yours. Haha. And no, it's not going on Amazon for bidding. So could you elaborate on the key tenets of your book that have stirred up such a revolution in the real estate industry?
Sure, I'll be happy to. I've been a realtor since 1993, full time. I've done it all 30 years. I've done it full time, and I started real estate the way that the majority of realtors do. I asked the manager of my office and the top agent in our office, what should I be doing? You learn from other people that are successful. And everybody said cold phone call and door knocking and some company mailings. And that's what I did. And I paid a real estate coach. His name is Mike Ferry. He's still around. And he still coaches. And he still coaches cold phone calling and door knocking. So that's what I did. And, I did it a lot. And it was miserable. I don't know if you've ever done phone calling.
Oh, yeah.
1 or 2 a day is nothing, but when you're doing like 2 hours a day, which is what you need to do if you want to be successful in real estate, it's really miserable to do. I don't care what anybody tells you. But I did it. I did it and it worked. And then as years went on, you get more and more business. And the longer you're in business, the more repeat and referral business you get and the less cold phone calling you have to do.
Sure.
So 15 years go on and, I'm doing business the same way, cold calling, door knocking, and repeat and referral business. And then I joined a company where you could mail custom greeting cards. Somebody sent me a custom greeting card. And I started using that in my prospecting instead of cold phone calling. And we're going to get into that in a little bit, I believe. But I started using that and it was so much more productive for me. And I enjoyed it so much more. And so I used that for, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years, and it worked so well that I thought I have to share that. And that's what's in this book. And that's why it's such a short book. In this book, I don't try and teach real estate agents everything about how to be a realtor.
Sure.
All I teach them is how to prospect for sale by owners and expired listings and to work your sphere to get more business and how to do it in a unique way. Because like I said, if I had tried to write a book the first 15 years, nobody would have bought it. It wouldn't have been any different than any other book. It would have been all cold phone calling and door knocking. But when I came up with something unique, I wanted to share it, and it worked very well.
Well, I'm so glad you did. It's a great. I'm not a realtor, but it's a great read, and it's helped me in my other marketing life as so it's been great. So let's jump into question number 2. So as an experienced ultra runner and co-author of Across America on Foot, how have your experiences from there it is from the running world translated into your approach in real estate coaching?
Well, I had run up until 2002. I had run one marathon, only one. And I ran that first marathon in 1997 when I was 40 years old for it was cancer research. A cousin of mine had malignant cancer, and a few of us decided to run and raise money for cancer. So anyway, we did that, and sadly, he died a year or two afterwards. But it was my first marathon, and it was just brutal. I got done with that. I trained heavily, and after I finished running that marathon, I thought, thank God that's done. That will never happen again. I did one marathon. I have no interest in any anymore because I couldn't walk for a couple of days. That was that bad. And then 5 years later, it's a long story. I won't get into it all, but my daughter was really struggling with her type 1 diabetes. And for a kind of a long, there's kind of a long story to why I ended up doing this. I decided to run across America from the West Coast to the East Coast to bring awareness to how underfunded diabetes is.
Yeah.
So then I did train seriously, and I did. I ran a marathon a day from San Diego, California to Washington, D.C. And what you learn in running is to kind of overcome the pain. In a way, it's like when I first started prospecting in real estate, cold phone calling. You make that first call and somebody hangs up on you. You make the second call and they said, don't call me at home. And you make the third call and they hang up on you.
Yeah.
That's miserable. So what most people do is they just quit. It's like, wow, this doesn't work. This is miserable. And when most people start running, the majority of them, it's miserable. If you haven't run before, it is not fun. So, I remember when I first started training, I ran like a mile. It was all I could do that first training day when I decided to run across America. It was May of 2001. And I had 1 year to get in shape, and I was 245 pounds, and I started running, and I couldn't even run a mile.
Wow.
But, oh, this is just miserable. And I think most people do give up after a day or a week or 2 weeks because it takes a lot longer than that, whether you're cold phone calling to get business or whether you're running to get in shape, for it to become comfortable. And I think that's kind of how distance running relates to sales. It's you just got to hang in there, and you have to. It's a grind. And you have to do it every day, and if you don't do it, you're not going to be successful. And if you do it, you're guaranteed to be successful.
And that's yeah. I love how you how you're able to encapsulate all that and really marry it with your real estate coaching. It's awesome. I'm not a runner, so while that's inspiring, that's not for me. But we're going to know question number 3. In your role as an EXP Referral Division Recruiter, how do you identify and attract the right talent? And what potential do you see in utilizing referrals as a growth strategy?
Well, I just literally joined EXP Realty 2.5 months ago.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I was with Keller Williams for 8 years before that. And Keller does the same thing. That's why I went to Keller. Keller has a profit share.
Okay.
Agents that sign up with you as their sponsor, you make money when they have a sale if and only if the office they work out of was profitable that month. If the office they work out of the month they had a sale is not profitable, then you don't make anything because the company wasn't profitable. So anyway, there's a few other reasons, but the main reason I switched to recruit to EXP and not Keller Williams is at EXP they share on revenue, not profit, because there are no offices. EXP is a virtual real estate company, whereas Keller Williams has hundreds of offices all over the country. And there's a lot of overhead with that. So EXP does not have that overhead, and that's why they can afford to pay off the. So I'm going to recruit to EXP the same way that I recruited to Keller Williams, which is pretty much the same way that I went after, my real estate business, expired listings and for sale by owners, which is find a target and go after that target. And you don't want to target like 1 or 2 or 3 people. You want to consistently, like every day, go after more targets. Okay. And in real estate, what I did is I would go after 2 or 3 for sale by owners and expireds a day, every single day. And, I was in real estate for 30 years, and I just recently got into the recruiting aspect. I mean, I've been recruiting at Keller Williams for 8 years, but kind of as a sideline. But now that I no longer sell, I strictly coach realtors, and I recruit both to Mailbox Power and to Keller Williams or EXP. Now my focus will be just like it was before. Instead of going after one or two expireds a day, homes that expired or for sale by owners to list. Now I'll be going after 1, 2, or 3 real estate agents who are with another company and sharing why I went to EXP.
Gotcha. Well, that segues right into our last question for you. So, could you share with us your unique coaching system? How does it differ from the conventional approaches, and what kind of transformation have you seen in realtors who have embraced it?
Well, it's kind of like I said earlier. I mean, my first 15 years, I did what every other realtor did, which is what I told them, was to focus on cold phone calling, door knocking, and working my sphere, and that was it. And when I started using that custom card company, I used them for 9.5 years, and then another card company or another marketing company came into business, and with them, it's Mailbox Power. You could customize not only cards, like I was doing with the other marketing company, but you can customize boxes, and you can customize coffee mugs, water bottles. You can see all the stuff I have. And so that's what I do. I coach real estate agents to market themselves the same way that I did, which is not by cold phone calling and door knocking, but by going after 1, 2, or 3, either for sale by owner and or expired listings a day, every day, 5 days a week. I don't think anybody can work 7 days a week. And that will amount to an average of around 10 or 12 new prospects every week. That's 40 to 45 a month. And I coach them to target them, not by cold phone calling, but by driving by and taking photos of their home and sending them cards and gifts like coffee mugs with photos of their home, with cards that would include why they would want to consider listing with me. And then the other thing, other than the unique marketing company that I share, which is Mailbox Power, that you're a part of also, the other thing I do is I share picking up business is 2 things. It's prospecting and it's follow-up. Now, most agents won't prospect, and that's why, as far as real estate agents go, over 80% of newly licensed realtors leave the industry within 2 or 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's because they won't prospect. They try it, but they just won't do it. And it's been that way all 30 years. And most people don't want to prospect. So you need to find a way to get business. That's prospecting. And then when you prospect, you have to follow up. And what follow up means to 95% of salespeople is phone call. Get their phone call and follow up. Hey, I dropped something off of your house, or I mailed you something, or I called you last week. Your listing is expired. I see you still didn't list. I'd love to meet with you. So that's what they do. Now, since that's the follow up for 95+% of all salespeople, not just realtors,
Sure.
people don't like getting phone calls. They don't like it. And so when a listing expires, or when somebody puts a for sale by owner sign out in their yard, they are overwhelmed with phone calls from realtors. They're just overwhelmed. Literally like 10, 20, 40 a day. And that's a fact.
Ooh.
So what I coach is look for these people on Facebook. If you find them on Facebook, you can send them a Facebook message. Look for them on LinkedIn. You can send them a LinkedIn message. Print out a letter. Print out a, thought I had one right here, but I don't. Print out a letter to them that has their name on it, and put that in an envelope, a big envelope like this, write their name on it, and drive to their house and drop that off. Don't just mail it, actually drive to their house and drop it off. Phone call is another method of follow-up. Video messaging is phenomenal. Very few people, with these phones we have nowadays, you can click on your camera and click on video, and you can make a 20-second video. Hi, this is Jim McCord with EXP. I see you still haven't relisted your house. Last week I dropped something off. You should have received a packet in the mail from me by now. I'm different than every other realtor. I'd love to meet with you and share how I'm different. So I make that 30-second video with their name. I say their name up front.
Sure.
Then I can send that to them as a text message or as a Facebook message. And so I coach actually 9 different methods of follow-up, not just phone call, phone call, phone call. So those are the 2 things that make my coaching unique. It's not about cold phone calling. It's about prospecting differently with custom cards and custom gifts, and not just follow-up phone call. You follow up with 9 different methods.
Yeah, that first one, that was in an envelope you shared with us, right? That was okay. So yeah, I mean, folks, can you just imagine sending that in the mail? It arrives in a real mailbox, not an inbox. It's absolutely powerful to have that person's home. There you go.
And then
Perfect.
they open it up, and that's the card,
Yeah.
Their house again. On this one, I wrote charming home, great location. And then on the inside is where you put your information.
Yeah, and there you are. Excellent.
Yeah. So, I mean, if this is your house and it just expired and you're getting 20 or 30 phone calls a day and you're getting company mail from Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and EXP and Sotheby's, and everybody else, but then you get this in the mail, you're more likely to at least consider working with that agent.
You're not gonna throw out that envelope, that's for sure.
Exactly. And it's the same with a box. Imagine if this is your house.
Right.
This is not the shipping box, but you open the shipping box and you see your house on the lid of a box like this.
Right.
Not in a box like that. So you open it, and inside is an 8.5 by 5.5 postcard photo of your house.
Wow. Yeah.
Now on the back is a message to them, and I'll read it to you real quickly. Jerry and Susan, your listing expired. I'd love to meet with you to share what I'll do to get your home sold for maximum value in the quickest time possible. PC and close puzzle together. Then call me. I look forward to meeting you. And they're thinking, enclosed puzzle, what is he talking about? So under that is a bag that comes from Mailbox Power, and it's 12 pieces. And when they put that puzzle together, it's a photo of their house. You can see the puzzle pieces.
Brilliant. Absolutely love it.
Exactly.
Talk about setting yourself apart from everybody else.
Exactly. Everybody else is doing the same stuff. And that, those are just some of the things that you can do with Mailbox Power. So being different than every other realtor is extremely important. But even what you also have to do is you do still have to prospect.
Yes.
You have to prospect, and you always have to follow up. And if you prospect differently, you'll do even better than if you prospect the same as everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, folks, that was Jim McCord, a man whose relentless pursuit of excellence and passion for innovation is clearly reflected in every realtor he coaches. His teachings are not just about making sales, but about transforming the way we perceive and operate in the real estate industry. I invite you to continue this conversation with Jim, dive deeper into his unconventional approach, and explore the exciting opportunities it presents. Don't just sell real estate, revolutionize it with Jim. And Jim, please tell everyone how they can connect with you to continue the conversation.
Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And my strongest suggestion actually for a realtor would be go to YouTube and search my YouTube page, because I have hundreds of videos where I share like how to list for sale by owners, how to list expires, how to thank your customers, how to stay in touch with clients, how to mail to a farm area. So YouTube is, but YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, Jim McCord.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Jim, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on here with us. And thank you all of you who have joined us. And we look forward to the next time we get together on Hanging Out for a Living. So we'll say goodbye this time and see you all the next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thanks. Bye-bye.